Hello and welcome. I am the Ultimate Rookie, and today I'm going to be taking you through the back nine of the Cowdenbeath Dora Golf Course. Realise I have played Cowdenbeath course quite a lot recently, so we're going to be changing it up in the next few weeks. I do have access to quite a few courses, and as you can see, the sort of drone footage of the 10th, it is quite severely uphill, and then it does sort of flatten out at the top there. And starting it off with some absolutely tremendous camera work here as well. Perfectly lined up in the middle of the shot, but you won't see how good a drive that was. It went very, very far, carried the bunker, which I don't actually normally do. The camera is perched right on the edge of the bunker, so just carried it 169 yards on the uphill, and it was actually a perfect iron shot as well. Just rolled onto the front of the green and gave me an early chance for birdie. What I've decided to do, the back nine, I played actually quite well, so I've left it as an even start, just so that you can compare really the front nine to the back nine. A 2-putt par I will absolutely take. Disappointed with the birdie putt as we move on to the 11th, 363 yards. Again, slightly uphill and then severely back downhill, just kind of the opposite of the 10th. We'll be aiming to go right over the top of that bunker. It has been extended to the left. This is quite old footage, so there will be slight changes, but it just sort of gives you a easy layout. So the bunker is actually right in the middle, sort of in the gap between those trees there. So I aim to the left of that, and my fade brings it back into the middle, as you will see perfectly here. Really, really good drive. My driving has been impressive, if I do say so myself. Lately, 149 yards back downhill. Chose to take the trusty 8-iron. Lined it up perfectly well. I'm very, very surprised with how this came out. Absolutely pure shot. And it was very, very close to the hole, as you can see. A fantastic opportunity for birdie. I was taking extra time over it, trying to line it up. I was hoping for a fade from right to left, but it just did not break. I think I putted it through the break, and again, for the second hole in a row, it is going to be a 2-putt par as we move on to the 12th. 397 yards it is today, slightly moved up tee. The dogleg left is where I really struggle. Tee shots go off to the right hand side, and you will see to the left there is a bunker if you do try and bite off more of the corner than intended. I do normally aim for the bunker, but I've had some absolute shocking tee shots from here. Ended up in that bunker on the right hand side there also. And the Cowdenbeath course is quite fond of putting bunkers just at the front of the green. So again, we'll hopefully be looking to put myself in good spot. And second shot just over the bunker towards the back of the green. Just aiming for the edge of those trees there, but more of a fade than normal. Almost a borderline slice, really. As I'm right on the edge of the tree line here, the ball below my feet, 166 yards to go. Lovely contact there. I loved the noise that made. It was very, very good, but just overcompensated really with a hook almost. I was expecting it to go quite severely right, and it just didn't. So it's going to be a lob wedge, 26 yards, fast greens, just landing it short, and it actually rolled a lot further than expected, and this is a little bit further away than it probably looks on camera. A putt to keep myself at even on the back nine, just don't make it. Caught the edge there, and a tap-in bogey to finally go +1. As we move on to the 13th par, 390 yards. I have been torn between using the 5-iron off the tee and a hybrid. Today though, I did choose the hybrid. It's not something that I hit consistently well. I have had some shockers with the hybrid, really. The bunkers are at the front, so I was hoping to somewhat carry them. But as you'll see, it's a bit of a chunk, really. I think I set the ball just slightly too high. Just got right underneath it. Managed to land right in front of the bunker to the left there. A little bit lucky, to be honest. 27 yards, just another chip over to try and get close. Managed to judge this one almost perfectly. And slightly further than a tap-in par. But something that I could really deal with here. Flat green. Thankfully, we managed to get in with the one putt. Now here I'm going to show you the left hand side of this hole because I don't actually think I've ever played it down the left. You can see why there is two bunkers there. I do actually normally aim for the bunkers and take that natural fade to the right, but in pretty much all of my recent videos I've just hit it into the trees on the right hand side and managed to get a pitching wedge out of the trees and onto the green. And if you're looking for something different today, to be honest, I think you'll be very disappointed. Off balance on the tee, into the trees on the right hand side, and left with 104 yards, so the utility wedge is going to come out. I felt I hit this quite well, but it just rolled right off the back, as you will see here. Not quite a full swing there, just about 3/4. It landed very nicely on the green, but you can see just rolled right off the back. This is a birdie putt, but not really any expectations for this to go in, just trying to get it close. And I did not get nearly enough on it than I hoped for. So again, this one is probably between 10 to 15 feet away. There is a slight break, and I actually got that right in the middle of the hole, but just didn't hit it hard enough. So another tap-in bogey as we move on to the 15th. Lovely sort of wide open fairway here, bunker to the left and then bunker to the right. There is a slope down there, which if you hit, you can get very, very close to the green. And again, 3 bunkers in front of the green, so if I do have the opportunity, I like to just go slightly long just to take them out of play completely. Tree lined left and right. I have ended up in the trees on the right many a time, just aiming for those on the left there, and it is, if I do say so myself, an absolutely perfect drive, so much so that I don't even watch it. Right in the middle of the fairway. I did slightly catch the hill. This is just right at the bottom of it, 114 yards to go. Just to remind you, if you totally forgot, a huge chunk, and I am still a 23 handicap. I've had some good rounds recently, so I'm hoping that does come down. But yes, definitely still a 23 handicap, and that's just a little utility wedge shot to try and get it close. Another tremendous bit of camera work there, the par putt being out of shot. The comeback bogey on a relatively flat green got in my head a little bit, and I put it wide for a double bogey. Just a slight reminder again, like I said, 23 handicap. 16th then, 314 yards, not the longest. Bunkers left and right, and again those signature bunkers at the front of the green. It's a relatively flat, almost tabletop green there. There is a slight lip to the front of it, but I think I was still in my head really about the 15th hole going onto this tee. Just an absolute chunk of a drive, caught a lot of ground there, and left myself 192 yards. Didn't even make it towards the bunker I'm aiming for that sort of middle tree there, the line of 3 trees, aiming for the middle one, just to try and get it on the green. 5 iron, it is going to be slightly to the right hand side, but good connection, just to get it close. 22 yards, leave me a little lob wedge, takes out the bunkers as well, nothing to really worry about here. Wide open, get it close. I should have probably landed it just slightly off of the green. As you can see, it rolled quite far past the hole. This is my chance at par, but a lot further away than I was hoping for. I do actually quite like playing this hole. It is slightly uphill. I have had some good scores on here, the flat greens as well, but it is going to be another bogey to take me to +5, moving on to the 17th, 508 yards. A very, very good scoring hole for me normally, and absolutely no shame to those guys who've hit it about 100 yards off the tee. I have been there hundreds and hundreds of times. Fair play to these guys. Again, bunkers left and right for the tee shot, but it does open up for the second shot. The fairway very, very wide. There's a bunker to the right, but I can honestly say I've actually never really been in it. To be honest, I have tried to take a lot of the corner out a lot more than intended and been in the trees on the left sometimes. But recently I've just been playing it conservative, and again the signature bunkers in front of the greens. I usually intend on going long. So like I said, recently I have played the par 5 quite well, had some good scores. An absolute rocket off the tee here, perfectly down the middle of the fairway. Is quite wide open as well, 285 yards remaining, so I have chosen to go with the trusty 5 iron. Nothing really in my way, a clear head and an absolutely pure strike. I just try and roughly get sort of within 100 yards, and 103 will do me nicely. The flag there is right in the middle, almost teasing the bunkers. Utility wedge, pretty much a full swing here, and I will get myself on the green, but slightly more left than intended. Opportunity for a birdie. Realistically though, it is going to be a lag putt. It is a relatively flat. A lot of the greens at the Cowdenbeath course are relatively flat, but that was a frustrating one, a lot shorter again than intended. But I do have the opportunity for par. Quite a stiff breeze coming down the hole, and a lovely fist pump there to take the 2-putt par on the par 5, which I will absolutely take. Keeps my record in good nick there as we move on to the last hole. Bunkers down the left hand side, bunker to the right there that I will absolutely never reach, and then of course the signature bunkers at the front of the green. Nothing too much to worry about. Obviously cars to the left, the clubhouse to the left. It does open up just after those trees on the left hand side, but it's not fairway. It is rough, but I have ended up in there quite a few times. Just aiming for that last tree on the left. It did fade off slightly more than intended, so just on the edge of the rough, but 157 yards will let me have a 7 iron in hand. Relatively flat, nothing to worry about. The flag in the middle of the bunkers again. Really clean, almost pure strike once more. Hitting irons quite well recently, along with the drive, and actually the game's coming together quite nicely, I'm not going to lie. But again, the greens are still very, very fast, so probably an 8 iron would have been the one. But we learn every day, and the lag putt, I thought I hit it too hard initially, but it was absolutely perfect, and a tap in par to finish off the back 9. So going through the scorecard as we always do for the back 9. Very, very impressed, if I do say so myself, with how I played. getting those 5 pars in the back 9 is really special for me, and a score of 41, I will absolutely take that all day long. And combining the score, it is actually probably one of the best scores that I've ever had at Cowdenbeath Dora Golf Course. If you haven't seen the front 9, I would actively encourage you to check it out. I'll put a link in this video. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time.